Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel and I hope you are doing great. Today we are going to solve the apple division problem, and the problem statement is there are n apples with known weight and your task is to divide the apple into two groups so that the difference between the weight of the group is minimal. And in the input, in the first line, the only one integer n is given, that is the number of apple, and the next line there has an integer p1 p2, the weight of the each apple is given. Okay, and we just have to print the minimum difference between the weight of the groups. So we have given a number of array that is called the weight of the apple, and we have to divide these all apple into two groups such that the difference between the weight of the group is minimum. Okay, and now let's say I am taking an example of n equal to 5 and the elements are 3, 2, 7, 4, 1, and the overall sum of this element is 17. If we can divide the two group into the half in the manner of weight, then we can achieve the minimum number. So how we can divide? So 17 by 2 is 8. Okay, so if somehow we can select the number of weight in such a manner the overall sum is near to the 8, then what is the sum of other group? That would be total sum minus let's say the left sum is LH, that would be my RH, and the answer would be absolute of RH minus LH. Okay, now let's say if I can achieve this 8 by selecting some weight into this from this array. Okay, so let's say if I can achieve 8, then my LH would be 8 and my RH would be 17 minus 8, that would be 9, and my answer would be 9 minus 8 is equal to 1. So I can get the minimum difference of the groups. Okay, now this question is converted into the another question, that is we have to choose some element into the array such that the overall sum is near to the overall sum of the array divided by 2, and this is my LH. And if I find LH, I can easily find RH by sum minus LH, and after that we take a absolute difference between RH minus LH, and this is my answer. Now the question is how can we find this element? So let's say if I am taking an example of 2, 5, 3 and the index are 0, 1, 2. So what we have to do? We have to check every possibility by recursion. Okay, so what is the overall sum of this element are 10. Okay, the overall sum is 10. So 10 divided 2 is 5. So we have to divide this array such that the left half sum is near to the 5. Okay, so what would be my approach? I have to choose some element and I want the sum of those elements would be maximum, but it is less than equal to 5. Okay, so let's say I am initializing a recursive function that would start from index 0 and the sum is 5. Okay, then I have two possibility, either I can take this element or not. Okay, so if I take this element, so then I have to check the condition if this element is less than sum or not. Okay, if 2 is less than 5 or not. If it is fine, then I can take this element. So my index is incremented by 1 and my sum is decremented by 2. So 5 minus 2 is 3, or I can skip this element. So if I skip this element, then I go to the next index and my sum would be 5. Okay, now when I am reach out to the index 1, then I have two possibility, either I can take this or not. While I am checking if I can take this or not, so the sum is less than 5, then we can't take this element. Only for this case only we can skip this element. So that for 2 and also whenever I am taking the element, I just have to add those element into the return value and 0 for skip. Why? Because I have to calculate the LH, that is the total sum of left half group. Okay, now coming to the index 2, I just have only one option to skip this element. Now the sum is also 3. Okay, and I'm skipping here, so I add 0, and for this the 5 is equal to the 5, then this condition is satisfied. So I can take, either I can take this element and index is 2 and sum is 5 and I have to add 5, okay, and either I can skip this element. So I can also go with the index 2, and if I am skipping this element, the sum would be 5, okay. Now coming to the next iteration, okay, so what we have 3 and the sum is also 3, though 3 is also less than equal to 3, though either we can take this element. If we can take this element, the next iteration would be 3, and 3 minus 3 would be 0, and also I am adding 3, okay, and what we have to skip this element, okay, 3 and 3, okay, and what we have for 0, the 3 is greater than 0, though taking condition is not satisfied, so only the condition satisfy is I can skip this, okay, 3 0, and also add 0 over here, and 5 can also be satisfied, so 3 is less than 5, so what I can do, I just 2 5 minus 3 is 2, and sorry, this index is 3, and for the skipping condition 3 and 5. So what I am adding over here, I add here 3, and what I am adding over here, I add 0, and after getting all my condition, that would be either I can take and either I can skip, I just have to return the maximum of it, okay. So and whenever I reach out to the last index, that would, if my index would be equal 3, I just return 0, okay. Now I am just when I got the index 3, I just return 0, and also I just return 0, I just return 0, I just return 0, I just return 0. So this is my take condition and this is my no take condition. So what is the maximum between take and no take? That is 3, and this will pass to the parent. So 3 will be passed, the maximum between these two is 3, and also for there is no any take condition, so this is 0 and this will give 5, and 3 and 0, the 3 is greater than 0, so this will give 3 and this will also give 3. Now between take and no take condition, what is the maximum over there? The 5 is maximum over there, okay. So this will return 5, okay. Now and this will also give 3, and this will also give 3. After 3, the 3 plus 2 would be 5, and this will give to the parent 5. Now check, we can check that in both case the maximum is 5, so this will return the maximum from this, and this will return 5, okay. So now what we have LH equal to 5, and we have total sum equal to 10. So what would be my RH? RH is equal to sum minus LH, that would be 5 minus 5, 10 minus 5, that would be 5, and my answer would be absolute of LH minus RH, that would be 0, okay. Now we can see that at every level we have two possibility, either we can take this or we can not take this. So overall the tree is expanding exponentially, so the overall time complexity would be 2 to the power n, and the overall space complexity would also be 2 to the power n, okay. Now coming to the code part, first of all I have to take input of n, and I have to take vector of size n and take an input of all weight, sin vec I, okay. Then we have to calculate the LH, okay. First of all I have to calculate sum. So let's say I am initializing my sum variable from as sum is equal to 0, after that sum is plus equal to vec I, okay. and after that I have to calculate LH. So what would be my LH? LH would equal to, let's say, fun, and I'm initializing an index from 0, and sum is as sum by 2, and also I am giving vector. Okay, after calculating LH, what would be my RH? RH would be sum minus LH. Okay, and what would be what I have to print out? I just have to print out Cout absolute of LH minus RH. Okay, now writing a recursion function. My recursion function is a long return type, and this is fun. First of all, I have to take an index, idx, after that sum, ll sum, after that what we have, vector of ll vec, and this vector would be passing by reference. Okay. Okay, so first of all I am writing my base condition. That would be, if my idx is equal to vec dot size, then I have to return 0. Okay, and if not, then I have two possibility, either I can take or not take. So first of all I initialize my take variable as a 0 and check if my sum is less than equal to vec of, sorry, if my same sum is greater than equal to vec of idx or not. If it is, then take is fun of idx plus 1, and sum would be sum minus vec of idx, and my vec would be vec, and I have to add vec of idx for adding the element into the LH. Okay, and also I have a no take condition, that would be skip condition, that would be fun. I also have index, increment the index, the sum is as it is, vec is as it is, and I have to add 0 over here. Okay, and after that I just have to return maximum of take and no take. Okay, and let's check my code. I am taking the input n, initializing vector sum, taking the input of vector, taking the sum of all element, calculating the LH by recursion, and also RH. After that I have to print the absolute difference in my function. When idx is equal to vector side, then it will equal to 0, and initialize my take variable as a 0, and when the condition is satisfied, that would be sum is greater than equal to vec idx, my take is equal to increment idx, decrement sum by vec idx, passing the vec and vec idx, and if no take, in the condition of no take, I just increment the idx and adding 0 and return the maximum of take or not take. So let's try to run this code and check if it is working or not. So now it is working fine, and also for this the answer would be 1. So in my example I have 253, and the answer would be 0. Okay, now yeah, my code is working fine. Let's try to submit this code and check if it is accepted or not. A. Yeah, this is accepted, and yeah, this is a pretty good question, because if the constraint is something like this, this is a question of memoization. This can be a question of memoization which is comes in the under the DP. So by doing this question, the basic concept of DP is arising over here, and we can easily solve by simple recursion. Okay, and if you like this content and if you want more, then please like this video and subscribe to this channel and share among your friends. And if you have any query, any suggestion, any feedback, you can kindly reach out into the comment section. and let's go. Thank you. Bye bye.